When my children were young, we had a nanny who took care of them during the workday. Her name was Dorothy, but she liked us to call her Dima, which was a contraction between Dorothy and Ma, Dima. And Dima was probably in her early 60s or so, and she was great in all the important ways. She loved Ben and Emily dearly. She took very good care of them. And each day when I was away at work, she would write down everything they did during the day so that when I came home, I could read all about it. And Dorothy was also kind of quirky. Dorothy, her favorite pastime was going to flea markets. And so anytime she had some free time, she would go to a garage sale, an estate sale, a yard sale, you name it. And she was looking for a bargain, right? She was looking for a good buy so that then she could turn around and resell it and make a profit. And so most weekends she would load up her van, and when I say load up, I mean fill her van and go to a flea market and try to sell some of her stuff. Well, I had no idea that the impact of this hobby on her life until one day I went to her home. And I will never forget my shock when she opened her front door, because everywhere, as far as you could see in the home, was stuff piled virtually from the floor to the ceiling. There were boxes, furniture, knickknacks, pillows, linens, figurines, everything you can possibly imagine. There was not one place in the entire living room or dining room area where you could sit down. And the only way to navigate inside the home was to step onto the little path that she had carved out for you to walk from the front door to the kitchen, which we did, and arriving in the kitchen saw that every speck of counter space was also covered. And I thought, how can she live here? How can she really even breathe here? You know, the fact is that she had gotten used to that. She had kind of learned to, in a way, take that in stride. But yet I found that terribly sad. Because what it seemed is that Dima's possessions had overtaken her life. That she didn't even have room in her own home to live, to be. Well, this is an extreme case. Some of you may know people like Dima. Some of you may be people like Dima. And that is okay. But even though most of us don't have that extent of clutter in our outer environment, we often have a great deal of clutter in our inner environment. Is it not so? And it has much the same impact as clutter from the outside. So our internal clutter is sort of the outworn, unhelpful, limiting thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors that we carry around with us in our daily life. It's our negative self-talk. It's our fear, our worry, our anxiety, our relationship issues, our job problems, our unhealthy habits, etc., etc. And we walk around with all this clutter in our minds, and the effect on us is very similar to the effect of what happens with external clutter. It weighs us down. It holds us back. It keeps us from living a full and fulfilling life. Kind of like Dima's house in a way, because we feel this sort of penned-in sense in our own consciousness. So here's an illustration. Time for props. Curious? So, let's imagine for a moment that this bag is your consciousness, your psyche. Let's just take a look at what you may have stored up in here. So-and-so did me wrong. Resentment. Nothing ever goes my way. Victimhood. My life hasn't turned out the way I planned. Grief. Mom or dad didn't love me. I'm unlovable. Inadequacy. My relationship isn't working, but I'm not sure I can do any better. Doubt. I'm not good at anything. Oof. Self-pity. I hate my job, but I'm afraid to leave it. Fear. The pandemic is still here, and it's all blank's fault. Anger. What if we have to go into lockdown again? Worry. And on it goes. Obsessive thinking, unforgiveness, judgment, shame, insecurity, addictions, blame, regret, dread, past mistakes. And pretty soon, this is what we've got. And this is what we are carrying around in life. All right? We're carrying around this load. And once in a while in our lives, we're going along, we think, oh my gosh, there's a great opportunity for me. I don't know if I can really get to that. I got all this weight on my back. Or we meet somebody and we think, oh, that's an exciting person. That could be a really good friend, or maybe a colleague, or maybe even a partner. But I got all this stuff to deal with. I just don't think I can really engage with that person. Right? We carry it around. After a while, it's really pretty heavy. As you can imagine, there's like 10 pounds of potatoes in here. But anyway, it's a little bit heavy. But after a while, we start thinking this is who we are. Right? We start saying things to ourselves like, well, I guess this is just my lot in life. I guess I'm not meant to be free and happy. Come on. Really? You know better than that. You are the ones, I'm speaking metaphysically, who put all these thoughts and behaviors in here, and you can choose to take them out. You can make a different choice. Even if your situation is one that you can't change, you can change the way you think about it. You can change the way you relate to it. You can lay down, you can release what is weighing you down. And in fact, if you want to live a full and happy life, you must release what is weighing you down. Well, Jesus knew this, and a great deal of his ministry was about helping people let go of their false and limiting beliefs so they could discover the power within them. He was all about correcting their thinking and shifting their consciousness. Let go of your judgment, he told his followers. Stop hating people and dividing. Love your enemy. Pray for those who persecute you. Turn the other cheek. Forgive constantly. Forgive and forgive. Let go, let go, let go. In essence, his message was, if you want to live in the kingdom of heaven, if you want to experience heaven on earth, you must be willing to let go of your old ways of thinking and being. Release the baggage that separates you from God. Release the baggage that separates you from God. You know, Jesus didn't want us, the last thing he wanted was for us to go through life having a miserable existence, hunkered down, carrying something like that around, right? Burdened by all our worries and concerns. What he wanted is for us to stand up tall, to love life, to live life, to be free, to live life abundantly. Let go of all that stuff. In fact, if Jesus were with us and telling us what to do, I expect he would do something like this. Here, tell us to do something like this. Let me open up this. Hang on, I got to open it up again. I hope I don't spill these. Yeah, I'd say get rid of all that stuff. Get rid of all that stuff you're carrying around. You don't need all that. Because here's the thing. What's left when you get rid of all that? Well, you might think an empty bag. No. This is your divine potential. This is your infinite self. These are all the possibilities waiting to come to fruition in your life. This is your joy. It's your enthusiasm. It's your creativity. It's your unlimited possibilities. In here is God. Is God. Remember one of my favorite quotes from Meister Eckhart, the great 13th century Christian mystic. God is not found in the soul by adding anything, but by a process of subtraction. Subtract, let go, release, lay it down, and you will have a greater experience of God. You know, we can tell in our lives when we are ready to subtract, when we are ready to release something, because our inner voice says to us, I don't want to live like this anymore. I don't want to continue to carry around this issue or problem or fear. And then we have the thought, and I don't have to. I don't have to continue to carry this around, and I don't have to continue to live this way. Remember, we are powerful, creative spiritual beings. We design our life through the choices that we make. My first job out of college was as a newspaper reporter in Rochester, New York. I loved writing, very excited about journalism in the beginning. After 2.5 years in that job in Rochester as a reporter, I was disappointed, I was discouraged, I was disillusioned, I was disenchanted, I was all the disses, right? Because I had gotten into journalism because I believed in the people's right to know. I wanted to get the information out so people could make wise and empowered choices. And then out in the so-called real world, I found out that it was all about selling newspapers. And if occasionally that meant sensationalizing the news or, in my view, turning against your fellow human being, so be it. So at the ripe old age of 24, I was burned out and depressed until one day I had the thought, wait, I don't have to live like this. I don't have to do this anymore. I can leave. I can move. I can do something different. And that realization gave me the inspiration and the courage to quit my job, to pack all of my belongings into my 1972 Pontiac Catalina. What a boat of a car. But anyway, to fill it up and to drive it across country to start a new life in Portland, Oregon, a city I had never been to before, but I felt was calling me, and I'd heard good things about it. And once I got out to Portland, eventually I met my first husband. I raised my children there. I built a successful career in corporate communications. It was a fantastic time, 27 years. It never would have happened if I hadn't been willing to let go of my old life in Rochester. Now, I'm not telling you today to quit your job, although you may, but I'm not telling you to do that. What I am advocating today is that you take a hard look at your life, take advantage of this opportunity to do some honest self-reflection, to identify what is holding you back, to identify a continuing source of pain and being stuck in your life. To ask yourself, isn't it time to let this go? You see, the choice is yours. Are you ready to release what isn't working for you, what no longer, if it ever did, serves your highest good? And that, of course, is what the burning bowl ceremony today is all about. It's all about letting go of what no longer serves us. So for those of you unfamiliar with it, we write down on a little piece of paper, and those of you who are here have a piece of flash paper. And you write down, I'm not telling you to do it now, just, it's all right. You're going to write down on it what you wish to give up, whatever it might be. There's no rules around this. Whatever your heart tells you, you write it on your piece of paper. Then you put it in the flame. We'll have this bowl put in the middle. The ushers will bring you down and all that. And you watching at home, if you can safely burn your paper, that's great. If not, ripping it into teeny tiny little pieces can be just as satisfying as throwing it away. But here, when we put it in the burning bowl, in the flame, and it goes poof like that with this paper, oh my gosh, that is a glorious moment. The whole ceremony symbolizes letting go of what we don't want so that we can create more room for what we do want. And the great, I think, thrill of the burning bowl ceremony is that when we put our little paper into the fire, we immediately feel the impact of release, right? We immediately feel this uptick of energy, of joy, of freedom, of liberation, of empowerment. Man, we need to lay that down. Right? And this realization that we need to do that, and this ceremony today is a great first step, but let's also be very clear, it's just the first step, right? We have to make a commitment to what we're going to release and continue to work that and let go over and over again. That can seem daunting for people, but remember this, each and every one of us has the power to do that. To shift, to change, to release, to let go. Because every single one of us has the power of God within us. Nothing is greater than that. Remember what it says in 1 John 4:4. You are of God. The one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world. Your higher self, your God self, is greater than any ego manifestation showing up out there as you. So, as we do this work today and going forward, we can know the importance of continuing to tune in to God within us, to continue to be guided by our higher knowing, to let Spirit direct our way forward, to keep going, to let go, and be free. Be free. Well, now it's time for our burning bowl ceremony. So I'm going to give you a little bit of instruction around that. And we've got the wonderful Jack Moriarty is going to move this to the front. So let me just tell you a little bit about this. You'll be writing down on your paper. I will instruct you through this process, and then the ushers will lead you to come forward when it's your time. But let's prepare for it with a little time of centering, shall we? So I invite you to become still and quiet. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. This be your moment of turning to divine guidance within you. Breathe, and remember that as you breathe and exhale, you are already letting go. Feel yourself so loved and supported this morning. Feel your heart filled with love and compassion for yourself, for beautiful, sweet, wonderful you on your spiritual journey, learning from each experience, growing through it. Today, as you turn within, notice where there is any sense of blockage, anxiety, worry, concern, anything getting in your way. And ask, what am I to release? What is mine to let go of? Listen and wait for the answer for a few moments in the silence. Now when you feel so led, take a few moments to write on your paper any thoughts, habits, or patterns you wish to release. Anything you want to let go of. Take a few minutes now to write it down. For those present, if you're feeling ready, the ushers will be directing you to come forward from the back. You'll come forward in rows. Best to be in a single file line coming forward. When you get up here, you're going to put your flash paper into the flame. So let me give you a little bit of instruction about that. It catches pretty quickly, and you don't want to keep your hands around when it catches. So the idea is to just put a corner of it in here. You might wish to fold your paper in half, long ways like that. And once you see that it has caught, you let it go. That is an important reminder. Let it go. We don't want anybody getting hurt here, okay? Very simple. I'll be here to kind of watch over you, make sure we're all right. Very simple. Come on up and let go. Thank you. Perfect. Thanks. Hi, Hunter. Perfect. Good. Thank you. Welcome. You got it. There you go. Let go. Yeah, good. Way to go, Marcia. Nice. It's okay, darling. Just let go. Perfect. Way to go, yeah.
Ground. Come and lay your worry down. Come and lay your worry down. Lay it down, lay it down. From your heart right here and now. Come and lay your worry down. Just lay it down, all the way down to the ground. Come and lay your worries down. Oh, lay it down, lay it down. From your heart right here, right now. Come and lay your troubles down. Oh, lay it down, all the way down to the ground. Come and lay your worry down. Oh, lay it down, from your heart right here, right now. Come and lay your worry down. Come and lay your worry down. Oh, come and lay your worries down.
How do you feel? Yeah, I know, right? So just realize that the joy or the uplift you feel right now is just a tiny indicator of how great you're going to feel when you truly let this go. So bravo to all of you. Give yourselves a hand. Stay clear, stay strong, and keep going, right? And to you at home, however you perform this ceremony today, I hope you also are feeling that great sense of uplift and release, knowing that you are stepping into your highest good. And we're feeling that connection with you, even though you aren't here today. But you can do this ceremony anytime on your own and keep her going. All right. Well, it is time now for a celebration of prosperity here at Unity Renaissance. You know, as we get to the end of the year, I don't know about you, I always reflect over the year and what has stood out for me, the hard times and the great times. And what I know without any doubt is that Unity Renaissance makes a huge difference in my life every single day and certainly every year, and more than ever in these past couple of years. Think for a moment what your life would be like if you didn't have this place as your spiritual home. Wow. Wow. It's big. So today, as we move into the last week of the year, we're closing out our year-end giving campaign. It is a time to really connect with what's most important to you, whatever you have received, and to give back in kind. So we're asking for extra generosity this December as we close out the year to close the gap in our budget. I know we can do it. We are on our way already. So whatever you can do to help us finish the year in the black, a little extra here or there, we hugely and greatly appreciate it. There are many ways to give to Unity Renaissance. You can go on our website and check them all out there under Give Online. For those of you here present, if you'd like to give via cash or check, we have a love offering basket in the back. I appreciate your dropping it in there as you leave today. And of course, the easiest way to make a contribution, financial donation to Unity Renaissance, is with your smartphone by texting the word give and thereafter the amount you wish to donate to
540